It's another week. Gary is a little under the weather. And we're going to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D, which premiered last night. Little sigh.
It eased my pain, as does NyQuil. Yeah. We'll get to the S.H.I.E.L.D. talk in a minute. From that little hint, I guess you can say that Geoff and I disagree on the show. But that'll come up later.
Alright, so we got some on-the-spot comic reviews.
I love on-the-spot reviews.
You know what happens there? We just go to the store, buy our stuff, talk about it right away. And it's actually an Avengers week this week. There was a few books. But we're only going to do 2 of them.
Yes.
That's right. So
how many Avengers books were there this week?
3 or 4, but I only get 3 of them.
Yeah. You only get all of them.
Oh, damn. Oh, well, whatever. So, I'll start off.
Go ahead.
I read Young Avengers.
Nice.
Are you reading Young Avengers?
I am reading Young Avengers, yes.
Alright, cool. It's alright. It's not my favorite Avengers book.
It's gone up and down.
Yeah, it's up and down. It's got kind of cool stuff. Like, he always tries to put everything in a current technological aspect. For instance, the first page is Yambler, like a take on Tumblr sort of thing, right? Yeah. It's kind of cool. He does that every issue, stuff like this.
Who's writer on this one?
Kieran Gillen.
Right.
And Jamie McKelvey on art. So it's issue 10. It's kind of a slow issue. Not much in the action front. Just a pretty, kind of like a Bendis Talking Heads issue type of deal.
Is this a standalone, or is it part of the arc that's happening?
It ties into everything that's come before. And I actually found it better than previous issues. Maybe because it was a Talking Heads issue, it explained a bit more than it usually does. The art's beautiful. The writing's good. Loki's cool.
I love Kid Loki.
Leia of Hell, his female part of him or whatever is in it. She's always cool. But, again, it's an up and down book. I can't fully recommend it as the best Avengers book out there.
I think it's one of the most unique Avengers books out there.
It is a unique Avengers book.
Because of what they're doing.
It's probably the most unique Avengers book they've ever put out, actually.
From what I've read of it, it has gone a little bit of ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's okay. The first arc with the parents was really good.
Yeah, and this is still continuing from that.
Yeah.
So it's it's not a new reader friendly book, let's call it that.
Just like speaking quick about the art, the layouts in that book remind me a lot of like a combination of Batwoman and the Flash.
Yeah.
You're going to get very unique layouts in that book.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like a traditional Avengers comic book.
No, and that's the thing that makes it stand out a lot from the other ones. So
it's not as good as the original Young Avengers run.
No, I don't think so. But that's a more traditional superhero title. That's the difference. This is a little out of the box. So
which I'm fine with Marvel trying something new.
Yeah, for me, the art's great, the writing's good, but due to the, let's say, complicated nature of it, and not being very new reader friendly, I can only give it a 3 out of 5. So
would it be higher for people who've gone in from the beginning?
Not so much. Yeah. Maybe a half point.
Okay.
Maybe a half point. Just because it is a complicated story. Month to month, it's hard to remember what happened actually in those past issues. I think it'd read better as a trade format. So pick up the first trade, because I'm pretty sure that's out right now. So
yeah, even the original Young Avengers read better as a long form anyway. So
yeah,
it's one of the...
So that was my book. What Avengers book did you read?
I cracked into Uncanny Avengers number 12 by Remender and Laraka. And Laraka has been one of my favorite artists since he started doing Iron Man like 2 or 3 years ago.
I think it's even longer than that, isn't it?
Was it?
Didn't it go 50-ish issues?
Yeah, maybe it was.
So it could be 5 years.
It re-kicked back into the original numbering, and then I lost track of how long it was going for.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. But Salvador Laraka, fantastic artist. Remender, I believe I said once before on the show, is one of my favorite writers. And Uncanny Avengers, when it actually ships, is a fantastic book. This one is kind of smack dab in the middle of the second big story arc that Remender's been doing in Uncanny Avengers. It's quick rundown. There's a little bit of history of the Apocalypse twins, who these guys are some of my two favorite characters created by Remender. They're just amazing. They're the offspring of Warren Worthington, and they've been kind of adopted by Kang, trying to manipulate them into doing Kang's will as is his way. And just got some great little showdowns here between a couple of Avengers and some of the new Horsemen of the Apocalypse, who, if you don't know, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but they're very, very tied into the history of the Avengers and the X-Men, so it's been cool to have actual personalities behind the Horsemen as opposed to just blank slates.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool.
I love the book.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's fantastic. Like I said, the Apocalypse twins are great characters. They're trying to getting Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, to be kind of another Deus Ex Machina for their plan and rapture away all the mutants from Earth. So it's setting the stage up for will she, won't she type of a setup. And a couple little action beats here in the book between one of the Horsemen and Cap, which is really cool. And just an overall solid book. This, having Remender write Uncanny Avengers has been fantastic.
I agree.
Because of all the work he put in with X-Force back in the day. He actually even has so much history of his own that he's written in this book, as well as overall history with the Avengers and the X-Men. And it's great. If you've been reading a lot of Remender's work, going back to Uncanny X-Force, you will absolutely love this book. Again, not really a great standalone introductory title or issue of the series, but if you've been in for a long go, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, one of the best books on the stands. Uncanny Avengers has been fantastic. I was a little worried about a smushing up of a book between Avengers and X-Men.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be, though.
Yeah, but it's paid off. You get the best parts of both Avengers and X-Men out of this.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that has a lot to do with how great a writer Remender is. So I definitely recommend Uncanny Avengers. If you're already getting it, you know how great it is. If you don't, it's definitely worth collecting back issues or trades to catch up on the story. So I give this book a solid 4 out of 5.
Cool.
Fantastic read for another month of Uncanny Avengers.
Yeah. So, trade review this week was a giant one. I read Soulfire, the definitive edition.
I honestly thought that was the previews book when you first picked it up.
Yeah, no. It's by Michael Turner, Geoff Loeb, who actually did a fairly decent job on it. J.T. Krull, Joe Benitez, and Peter Steigerwald. Put out by Aspen. It's pretty much one of the last books Michael Turner ever worked on. It was one of his pet projects. He wanted to get off the ground. Very glad he did. Basically, to sum it all up, it's about the return of magic to the world in about, 2200 and something. And pretty technological society at that point by the looks of it in his book. But magic comes back, and this book talks all about it. It's got dragons, it's got women with wings, not fairies, they're called something else. Just everything is in this book that you can think of. Absolutely gorgeous. It is so well drawn
by Michael Turner, I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Geoff Loeb does a good job on the story. He's usually hit or miss these days. This was a definite hit. You can't go wrong. It's a pretty expensive book. I think it's $39.95 retail. I got it on sale.
$39.99.
Ooh, I got it on sale at my LCS for half price, so I lucked out there. I'm pretty sure it's all available digitally at the Aspen store or other places. So if you can pick it up, pick it up. If you get a chance, definitely buy it. It is well worth your money. Just looking at it as an art piece alone is well worth it. Yeah. So pick it up. Soulfire, the definitive edition. It's volume 1. There are additional volumes now because people have continued on in his absence chronicling the adventures. So grab it if you can. You will not be disappointed. Give it a definite 10 out of 10. So, what do we got coming up next here, Gary?
We got ourselves a little tiny bit of toy news.
All right.
Nothing too huge this week, but Hot Toys did have their announcement of their 60s Batman figures. There seems to be a big resurgence in the interest of 60s Batman in the last little while.
Yeah.
Our comic book store just got in the new 6-inch Batman 66 figures. I think that was like Riddler, Penguin, Batman, Catwoman, and Batman in swim trunks. Surf's Up Batman.
That's funny.
While I appreciate the 66 Batman, I don't have much interest in the collectibles from the series. But these Hot Toys figures, because they're Hot Toys figures, look fantastic, and I really do like them. I wouldn't mind getting them.
Yeah.
They're coming out like April next year, about a couple $100 a pop. Both Batman and Robin, and the sculpts just look fantastic. Especially the Burt Ward figure, looks exactly like Burt Ward.
Oh, really?
It's just bizarre. It's so good like that. They're such great sculptors. For as far as Hot Toys goes, a little light on the accessories. Just multiple hands isn't normal. Batman has a couple of extra faces, like the lower face piece, to do some grimacing and some action poses. But the accessories they do come with, I think Robin gets a pair of bat cuffs, and they each get a communicator. And Batman comes with the giant bomb from the Batman movie.
Yeah.
He's running around the pier with, as well as the bat shark repellent.
That's pretty.
So
sweet.
That's kind of funny. But yeah, they're out for pre-order now through Hot Toys website. Now, like I said, a couple $100 each, shipping April of next year, and they're good looking figures. If you're a big fan of the 66 Batman show, they are an easy must pick up. More so than any of the other 66 Batman merchandise that's been rolling out lately. They are fantastic.
That's cool. I'm kind of glad that they got the rights to put that stuff out again, but
not the TV series though.
I am not the biggest fan. I can't watch that show anymore. It's just too corny. It's too corny.
I can watch it because I know what it is. It's deliberately trying to be that. And while I'm not the biggest fan of it, I'll watch an episode from time to time. If it comes out on a big box set ever, it might be worth a pickup, but
yeah.
It wasn't my first Batman.
No.
If you're the right age, I think it is your first Batman. But if not, I don't think you have as much appreciation for it as some people do. Which I understand people's appreciation for it as their first Batman. Yeah. People have probably the same love for that show that I have for the Bruce Timm Batman cartoon, because that was my first Batman. So.
All right.
Yeah. Let's some video game news as well that isn't Grand Theft Auto related.
Cool.
Yeah. The biggest thing, seeing as everything is Grand Theft Auto last week, no one's really gonna.
Actually, I do have one mention of that when you're done.
Okay, I have some Grand Theft stuff as well. But Valve has come out and announced their Steam operating system. It's a free OS that's going to be running off of Linux to support games on big screen TVs. They're actually doing 3 announcements this week. This was the first one. The second one is actually, I believe, today at 1 o'clock. So after the show goes out, or after we record it, there's going to be another announcement. I'm still hoping for their set-top box. There's been big rumors that they're going to be doing some little set-top box that's going to be able to hook up to your TV and run Steam or their new Steam OS to buy your games, play your games on your big TV and everything. So
that's all right.
If they do announce it, people have been calling it the Steam Box. I'm still hoping for Steam Engine because it just sounds cool. So we can hopefully wait and see what announcement number 2 and 3 is going to be. Hopefully it's going to be something big that Steam's going to announce. People are still always, every time Valve announces anything, Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be that.
3rd announcement? No.
Yeah. That'll be funny, but no, everything's looking to be running off of this the Steam OS as their big announcements. So.
Cool. Yeah, just as a slight GTA 5. I guess yesterday it hit the news that GTA 5 has sold $1 billion in 3 days worth. I guess it's the only anything to make $1 billion in 3 days.
Yeah,
so that's kind of cool.
$60 a pop, it'll do that.
Yeah.
It's such a good game.
So no movie has done it, no book, comic, anything released ever has done that much revenue in 3 days.
It is such a good game. I'm having such a fun time playing. In the amount of time I've played it, I've had so much fun compared to even the last. I haven't had this much fun since San Andreas playing a GTA game.
Huh.
It's so good. The thing that's caught me off guard the most, one thing that happened, driving down the highway, I kind of accidentally made a wrong turn and did a head-on collision with another car. The driver of the other vehicle flew out of their car through the windshield.
Into yours?
Over my truck, landed in the flatbed of my truck, and knocked my tailgate off.
Huh. That's pretty sweet.
That was the craziest thing that I've had happen in my game.
That's pretty sweet.
I've had some hit or miss issues with the iFood app, doing my car customizing and training my little dog. Last couple of days it's kind of evened out, so hopefully they've got their issues resolved again.
Yeah.
But if you're of the appropriate age to play Grand Theft Auto, I would highly recommend playing Grand Theft Auto.
Cool.
There are some bits in there that made me go, okay, this is a little odd, but everything is done with such a satirical twist to it. You can understand the fact that this is a video game. Everything's about satire in this game. And you could appreciate it for what it is. It's a fantastic game. It's a great time. I can't wait till the online launches so I can play with my friends. Having a blast with this game.
Cool.
We had a TV show.
TV show premiered
last night. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And
we have differing opinions.
People are just
going
to call it S.H.I.E.L.D. Or yes. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm tired of this Marvel's blah 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 blah. Yeah. I watched it last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I did not enjoy it.
I don't know why you didn't enjoy it. You've told me why.
I told you why.
They don't seem to be real reasons.
No, they are definite reasons. Okay, so valid reasons for not liking the show. Terrible effects, terrible acting, terrible script, terrible everything. Wow. It was just boring, unexciting.
Did you watch the wrong show? Did you watch the David Hasselhoff S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I'm hoping I was watching the wrong show. In fact, I would rather watch David Hasselhoff's Nick Fury movie than watch that ever again.
You are a foolish, foolish man.
So actually,
the effects for a network TV show were pretty decent. They were fine.
I don't think so.
Yes, they were.
I'm used to watching like Supernatural. They have a budget that actually has good effects.
That show's been going on for 9 years.
Correct. Even in their first year,
I don't think so.
I think
if you went back and watched this show, while yes, it's backed by ABC, Disney, Marvel, blah blah blah, they're not going to be throwing buckets of cash at it until they've proven it. So for a pilot episode,
they did not prove it.
The effects they used, those little hover jet things, were probably the weakest part of the show. All like the Microsoft table effects were fine. The little interspersed clips here and there of Avengers that they used were fine. The big plane they used was fine. The cool surprise nod to classic Marvel Avengers or S.H.I.E.L.D. at the end was
there
great.
Were a couple of one-liners that weren't too bad.
They can't use or have the budget to use all huge effects from the movies. Like, we're not going to see Hulk show up. We're not going to see an Iron Man suit or Cap or anything anytime soon. So they're doing little nods and winks to the comics as well as the movies as well, which is fine. But they want the show to stand on its own. And I think the whole spy espionage thing is going to be a cool thing to watch develop over the course of the series. Hopefully the numbers are good and we get a full couple of years or maybe more out of this show, which I'd be happy to see. As far as the script not being great, there were some iffy bits. There were some bits here and there that were hit or miss. But overall, Joss Whedon's script was great. Introduction reveal of Coulson was a great classic Whedon line. And we've got our little hints and mysteries about Coulson. Isn't he a clone or a bit of S.H.I.E.L.D. tech or whatever? We've got little bits here and there. Plus Ron Glass back on TV is all good. And I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching the show. Tying it into Iron Man 3 was interesting. Had a little bit of tie into that. I enjoyed the show. I think it's going to be a big hit. I think it's only going to get better as the show goes on. Your concerns about budget and effects, I think, will be...
It's not even that. I don't care about budget and effects mostly.
Just that you did.
It's script problems that I have a problem with.
What was there a problem with the script?
It's terrible. Every line they said was almost terrible. There was only like the one line you mentioned where he's coming out of the dark or whatever. That was fine.
You didn't like the porcupine?
Nah, it was dumb.
I thought it had a a bit of lightness to the script. It wasn't all
So, just
dark
before we
and...
started this show, Bleeding Cool threw up an article about what comic professionals thought of Marvel's S.H.I.E.L.D. last night. Like, 2% liked it, 2% didn't even watch it, 2% didn't realize it was on, 2% hated it, 2% hope it gets better. Just everyone's got... It was pretty much a sort of like, I think 33% difference. Like 33% liked it, 33% did not, 33% didn't give a shit. Yeah, it's like one guy commented, it's hard to put a show now on in a post Breaking Bad world. Which I agree.
Oh my god.
I know.
It's
but this
not
is network.
Breaking Bad. It's not supposed to be Breaking Bad.
Exactly.
Like, seriously?
And then another guy commented that with the poo comments, they just owned all the 9-year-olds, which I thought was funny.
It was a funny little line. Joss Whedon can write these funny little bits into his shows and still have it be in a cool, serious tone.
Actually,
I like the kind of super spy aspect to it. I think we're gonna get some cool spy bits later on. We got some gadgets. It's nice to have a cool little gadget show on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. What this felt like to me was like he put in 50% of the effort he put into Firefly, which was 50% of the effort he put into Buffy. That's what it felt like to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Bold statement, I must say.
Bold statement.
Yeah. But that's... Yeah.
Well, we'll see how week 2 goes. We'll talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 2 next week. See,
I will not be watching it.
You're going to give it 1 episode. That's awesome.
Alright, I'll give it 2. 2 episodes.
3 or 4.
This episode had absolutely no redeeming qualities for me to ever watch another show again.
Wow.
It reminded me of every bad superhero television series there has ever been, which is why I never watched any of the trailers previous to this. The first trailer I watched for this was Monday.
Wow.
That was it.
Yeah, I believe you compared it to the New Adventures of Superboy.
That's right.
Comics.
That's right.
Great.
Adventures of Superboy live-action television series.
Well, what happens if we get an Agent Carter series? Will you watch that?
Hopefully, it'll be 1,000 times better.
I'm kind of interested in that. If they do a spin-off of Agent Carter to get her own little series, I think that'd be cool. Because apparently the Blu-ray little mini Marvel movie is really, really solid.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch it, especially because it's a period piece. I think it'd be great having a 40s
and she's a decent actress.
They're not sure if she'd be in it.
Yeah.
But... If ABC goes series on that or gets a pilot out of it, because that's how S.H.I.E.L.D. got a TV show because of Item 47 on the Avengers Blu-ray. So if this is as solid as it is, I haven't seen it yet because I was hopefully going to get Iron Man 3, but I have no Blu-ray player yet. So I'm hoping it does spin off because a 40s period drama set with spies in the Marvel Universe, done. I'm in.
It sounds really more interesting than the current show, I must say.
You're a fool and you are wrong. We're getting another comics TV show out of DC as well. The story broke last night.
Yep, last night.
Getting Gotham by the guy that does The Mentalist. It's going to be a Jim Gordon origin show, so kind of Gotham Central-ish. They said it was a kind of an influence, which, okay, I'm cool. Maybe get Renee Montoya back in some way, shape, or form, since, the books aren't doing anything with her.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think it'd be kind of cool. So we'll have Green Arrow, we'll probably have our Flash series, and Gotham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be good. It's not going to be on Fox, which is different. So who knows?
Interesting place to put it on.
Yeah, hopefully it lasts.
Yeah. And hopefully being on Fox, I don't know if they're going to if it's going to be as dark.
Yeah, well, they did X-Files, remember?
Yeah.
And Millennium and all sorts of other
That was the last time they did anything like that, though. Now it's
no, they've had shows, just dark doesn't seem to last very often.
Green Arrow is a
That's
darker
not that dark,
tone.
though. It's
he straight up kills a lot of people in the first season.
Yeah, he does kill a lot of people. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah, the casting is gonna be interesting. I mean, they obviously go for a younger guy, but have a little even younger. I think Jim Gordon was the type of character that had a little bit of weight and age to him, despite the fact that
I was a little worried
character.
Because before I'd read the actual announcement, a guy on my Facebook said that he hopes it'll be as good as most of the seasons of Smallville. So that had me a little worried for a moment.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Now, not saying every season of Smallville was bad and or good.
It sure as hell wasn't 50-50.
No, it's more like
70-30.
70-30 or 65-45, something like that.
Being generous. I like Smallville, and I think 65-45 is being generous.
I know.
So,
I like Smallville too,
yeah.
sadly, but I didn't think it was that great.
No.
So,
but I'm kind of worried that it's going to get into like, this is young Harvey Bullock.
yeah,
Here's young insert Gotham character here.
yeah,
So, but I think if it's done right and done well, like a crime drama procedural type of show,
yeah. I think it could work.
I think it'd be really cool.
They just got to keep the costumes out of it.
I don't think there are going to be any costumes, are there?
I don't think so.
So I'm fine.
So that'll
with
be
it.
cool.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. So, other TV news. We had some more premieres this week. Hostage debuted Monday night. It's with Dylan Mcdermott as a FBI... I don't even know what you want to call him. An FBI agent that goes in.
Is he working with the Decepticons again?
Yes. No. He's pretty cool. I love anything Dylan McDermott's in, actually. Had, what's her name? I don't even remember the lead actress's name. Whatever. Dylan McDermott's in it. That's all you need to know. It's worth watching just for him alone.
You sold me.
I know. So it was good. Check it out. It's not the best premiere of the week. The best premiere of the week, actually, was The Blacklist with James Spader. James Spader... fabulous and everything. The Practice, The Office, just good.
Age of
everything.
Ultron,
Boston Legal. Maybe I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. He's gonna be awesome as Ultron.
So he plays a master criminal, kind of like a worldwide type terrorist dealy guy, but more like a fixer type of guy, or a guy who sets things up for everyone else. So he doesn't really do the bombings, and he doesn't do the murderings or the killings or anything like that.
He's a middle management?
He's a middle management kind of guy, yeah. But he's on the most wanted list for the FBI and all this stuff, so the show opens and he turns himself in because he wants stuff done. It was a pretty cool premise, because at the end they actually reveal the whole thing, which I won't spoil. But really good. Really, really good. A little, what do you call it? I don't even know what the word is. My mind is blank today. Anyways, it's hard to imagine that he's thought of every single possibility, because he's like some super genius, like
Batman.
Reed Richards level, yeah.
He's Batman.
So
Spoiler.
That was a little bit unbelievable, but overall, the show delivered in spades. Huh? Spades. I've been waiting to say that line all day.
Yeah. How hard did you pat yourself on the back when you came up with that line?
I have a permanent handprint.
You were at work, you thought of that, and you just, woo!
Nope, that was today.
Oh.
That was today. No work for me.
Just
So it's a good show. Definitely watch The Blacklist. It's better than Hostage.
What network is it on?
ABC, I believe, actually. Or is it CBS? I'm not sure. Network. It's on Network. That's all you need to know. Network. 2 shows ended. Ray Donovan's season finale on Sunday was great.
No idea what that show is.
It's with Liv Schreiber, I believe it's Schreiber, Liv Schreiber, and Angelina Jolie's dad, Jon Voight.
Jon Voight.
Yep. It finished. Excellent show. Got good ratings. It's been renewed for another year, which is great. He also plays a fixer, believe it or not. But not
And they say there's no originality on network TV.
I know. Well, this is cable.
Oh.
This is premium cable, Showtime.
Well, my statement still holds true.
Yeah. He plays a fixer for a big lawyer company out in L.A. And Jon Voight plays his dad. He comes out, gets out of jail, murders a priest, and so on and so on.
A big lawyer company? You mean a law firm?
Maybe. No, it's a company for lawyers.
They just make lawyers.
Oh, God. So, Gary's sick today, and my brain is currently not functioning 100% because of sleep deprivation. So, forgive us for anything you hear today that's not on point.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyways, okay, so Ray Donovan finished. It's a great series. Catch up on it if you can on demand or iTunes or stream it or however you can get it. It's fantastic. Another Showtime series ended, and it's the series finale of Dexter.
Which I heard a lot of people were, yay, great ending. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it wasn't a Sopranos ending, thank God. I was a little worried about that.
I love the ending to that series. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't mind it, actually. I appreciate it more now than I did then.
It's very interpretive,
so,
which is great.
So Dexter ended. There will be no more Dexter. There cannot be a spin-off now, unless it's a prequel show, like the Breaking Bad show will be with Saul Goodman.
They've mentioned how they could do a spin-off. Not involving Dexter.
No, it won't involve Dexter, and it can't be his sister.
Nope. Hannah was the likely candidate.
I
haven't seen any of the last 3 seasons. I just know this character, Hannah.
Maybe, but I don't think so. Yeah. Because if you watch it, you'll know. So, although, yeah, I don't know. Dexter did it. I don't know. Hard to say. I'm not going to spoil it, but series finale. It was really good.
From what I've read, the Dexter series finale had a great actual ending.
Yeah.
But then they had another scene after the ending, which undercut the ending. And
yeah, it was kind of like Lord of the Rings, where
out.
you think it ended, and then it ended again.
Yeah, none of those endings took away from the ending, and it wasn't a cop-out. A lot of people thought this Dexter ending was a cop-out.
So, I don't think it was a cop-out. I just think...
Like what I did there? Cop-out?
That...
You're not the only one that can write these one-liners, Geoff.
It wasn't terrible, but it's kind of like Sopranos. It leaves things up in the air and makes you wonder where it could go or how it's going to go or what's going to happen and that kind of stuff, right? The unanswered questions. Mm-hmm. So
a lot of people felt that show went on a couple seasons too long.
Last season was really good. This season wasn't bad, but I was expecting more. It's the last season. Everything should be like bang for your buck, like Breaking Bad. Every episode in Breaking Bad has been good this year. So watch Dexter if you can. If you've been watching it, watch the wrap up, finish it off,
and then be done with it.
Who knows? Voice your opinion online. Maybe we will get a spin-off. I wouldn't mind a spin-off. It just depends who's in it and what it's about. So
you say that for any show.
Pretty much, really, yeah. Well, no. I don't want to see a S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off.
Shut up.
Unless it's a better S.H.I.E.L.D. show. Then I'll watch
S.H.I.E.L.D.
it.
show.
Alright, so that's it for TV news this week, anywho's.
Had some cool interweb stories dropping around this week. Stan Lee, once again, says some interesting things.
Stan Lee, 99 years old, don't forget.
Yeah. I don't think he's that young. But him and Ric Flair, I think, are the oldest human being on the planet. They really are.
Oh, man.
But, there's been a lot of talk lately of, the one thing that every Marvel movie has in common is the main character in it is a guy. Why are there no female leads in our Marvel movies? And, Marvel needs to address that, and I think it's fair that there's enough female Marvel characters that could hold a movie on their own.
That's true.
And Stan Lee had an interview, basically just paraphrasing, I'm going to butcher his comment, but going on the female audiences like the movies that we put out, so we don't need to make them.
Yeah.
Well, no. I think that's completely wrong and stupid. There are great female characters that you have in the Marvel library, some of which you created.
Yeah.
So what does it matter if they're male or female? If they're good characters, develop a movie. Just because they're female, you just cut it off saying, no, we're not going to do it because girls automatically like the movies we're making anyway. No. So Stan Lee has this kind of weird thing in his head where he says stuff that makes no sense from time to time. And that was one of them.
I don't know. It's a hard sell for female-led movies, though.
No.
That's why actually, there's a huge article a couple years ago, which is why Warner Brothers and Paramount and Fox have all scaled back female-led movies as a whole.
I think because they're always written poorly. They're always trying to do the wrong things with them.
That's why you don't see too many Julia Roberts movies, Sandra Bullock movies, anything of that sort anymore. There's the odd one.
Yeah, because
but you don't see them.
They're
as
always the
often.
tired same tropes. I mean, that movie Salt with Angelina Jolie. I'm not the biggest Angelina Jolie fan, but that was a good movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was a solid movie because they had some of the stereotypical, we gotta have like the sexy scene of like you don't have to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like if they did a female superhero movie the same way they do the male superhero movie, there's nothing saying it wouldn't be a success.
That is true.
Like, you don't have... You sometimes have the cheesecake shots in the men's superhero movies, but they don't overplay it. But when they do a female side of it, it's always that. They always, vamp her up too much. Yeah. And I think if they played it a straight line superhero movie where the superhero, just happens to be female.
Could work. Remember the last one? Supergirl? That was straight-laced. There was no cheesecake.
Bad. That was bad movie. Bad, Geoff, for bringing that up. Bad.
That's better than Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh god, this is gonna be a running gag.
It is far superior in every way.
So, nice segue from Supergirl. David Goyer had an interview saying that there's no rule that Superman can't kill people.
Yeah.
Which, as far as the narrative that he wrote in his movie, there isn't. I mean, it's kind of... His comment was that rule exists outside of the narrative that they were telling. Which, it does. Yeah. And the situation that he was put in that story, what was he going to do? Like, it was that impossible situation. And it's going to be he's admitted it's going to be a threat they're going to deal with. It's not that he can't kill, it's that he did, now he's got to deal with it. Yeah. Which I think adds a neat dimension to him. Because they had it in the comics where, he killed Zod before in the comic, or a Zod in the comics before, and they had him dealing with that. And I think it's going to be interesting to see that type of fallout. Again, people think that he shouldn't do it because of what's been done before. If they stick with what's been done before, we don't have any character growth. We have the same thing tread over and over and over again.
Sure enough.
So, I think it's interesting. I think it's going to be, from what the story they're trying to tell, we're going to get a Superman movie eventually later on that's going to be rebooted from this anyway. So, the story they are telling, look at it in that context. Which, fine. The narrative called for him having to make a decision at that split second. And he made a decision. And now, the cool thing is he's going to have to live with those consequences.
True story.
So, I'm looking forward to that.
As a side note to that, as characters grow, you mentioned and all that, characters evolve.
Yep.
I hope Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does that as well, as it is pretty much just a retread of the 1970s Captain America movies in quality.
Wow. I don't even...
I can't wait for Agent Coulson or someone to wear like Captain America's big motorcycle helmet.
Oh.
That'd be amazing.
You are insane. You didn't even watch the same show. You probably watched like some grade school production of the first episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, this has got to be it.
Same quality.
God. Well, to end this week's show, we are going to bid farewell to the A-10 Warthog, one of the coolest airplane fighter jets ever made. Geoff has no idea what this A-10 Warthog is.
I do not.
Has no clue.
I'm guessing it's some kind of World War II stealth bomber.
No.
Alright then. It's got a picture of like a big eye and big teeth with a big grin on it.
We're gonna again bid farewell to the A-10 Warthog. The coolest thing about this thing is it's basically a plane that was built around a gun. This huge, massive gun. It's like the biggest gun they've ever put in an aircraft. And it was built around this. It's a flying gun. That's what it does. It's that huge spiraled, what the hell is it? Big rotating cannon gun. You know the thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger has in Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Think of that, only the size of a plane.
So why retire it? Flying guns are cool.
Well, it costs a lot to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
It's been around for like 40 years. They retired the Tomcat. They want smaller, cheaper, lighter, unmanned aircraft. And this is none of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another classic military aircraft that they're retiring, and they've used it in Transformers. It was Power Glide in Transformers. It was one of the G.I. Joe's planes, and it's a classic piece of pop culture.
Once you've been a Transformer,
You're
you know
immortal.
you've made it.
Yep. Transformer and in G.I. Joe. That's dual classing.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
yeah. So a classic piece of military hardware and a really cool design. It had influences all over pop culture. So it's right up there with the F-14 Tomcat from a fighter jet ever. And it's a fantastic looking thing and it sounds awesome. Pew, 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 pew. We're going to go look at things to see how awesome this is. I'm going to show Geoff how awesome the A-10 Warthog is.
I believe you. I
know
what you're talking about.
And I can also show you the Everything Wrong with Star Trek Into Darkness. Yep, that was one of them. Alright everyone, thanks for tuning in this week. We can check us out in our respective blogs.
That's right. At the Telltale Mind at WordPress.com and on my Tumblr, mindmeldshome.tumblr.com. Whoa. Right.
They're in the links. Mine's at the shelflifeofwagnarok.wordpress.com. Check me out on Twitter at the Wagnarok.
Cool.
And yeah,
Facebook page. Like
check
us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, leave us some comments if you think how awesome Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is and how wrong Geoff is.
And how correct I am.
Yes.
Give us some requests.
So until next week, everyone, take care.